So my name is Cara Buckley. I graduated Nichols College in 2011. I graduated with a degree in both sport management and human resource management. Right after college, I got a job with Shawmut Design and Construction, which is a construction management firm in the south end of Boston. I was there for 5 years, and then just last January, I started with the Boston Red Sox as their HR specialist, and I've been there almost a year now. So I actually did an internship here my senior year. First semester, I was at Madison Square Garden. I worked in their human resources department, so I kind of got that great mix of working in an HR department while also working in sports. So I did my internship, got really great experience, and then my goal after college was to live and work in Boston, specifically in HR. Wasn't really concentrating on the sports part, but really did want to work in HR. And I found Shawmut online. I applied to their recruiting coordinator position that they had, and they hired me because, and they told me this, they hired me because of my internship experience that I had prior to coming out of college, which is great. I'd already been in an HR department, been working in the real world. I knew what HR was all about and could kind of hit the ground running instead of being completely green and having to learn what HR was, the lingo, and everything else you kind of need to know about just kind of basic HR. So they picked me over other applicants because I already had a little bit more experience, and I only had that experience because I got the great internship experience here. Yeah. So Professor Liptrap here actually is one of the sport management professors. He has a great relationship with the folks over at MSG, and he took a group of us down there actually to interview, and a good handful of us actually ended up going to New York that semester and either worked at MSG and a few people worked at Sony. So definitely the connections here and working with Professor Liptrap is how I got that. So what grabs my attention is what you put on a resume. And one of the things I always look for, can someone specifically give me examples on a resume of how they can do things, like numerically. Even if it's hiring for an internship and you only had like waitressing experience, like, all right, so I served like 100 customers through an 8-hour day, like through 12 different tables. I was able to multitask and do this. So coming out of college, you can really put a lot into a resume, more than I think students think sometimes. Always take the opportunity to network, go to different networking events, meet people. You never know who knows someone else, and that is definitely the best way to make connections and get jobs, and I don't think students take advantage of that enough. And again, I think sometimes students can just use the networking events as practice to talk to strangers and to talk to other professionals, because that is sometimes seems to come across uncomfortable for students. They seem shy. I think if you have a dream to work for a certain company, there's no reason to ever put off pursuing that company, because you might get knocked down a little bit along the way. There might not be openings, there might not be the position that you want, but that doesn't mean it doesn't open doors. Where I have told, candidates or people who have applied to the Red Sox, hey, we don't have this position right now, but the Mets just posted something similar. Maybe I'll get you in contact with who I know at the Mets. So there are, and then maybe eventually you'd make your way back down to the company that you want to work with. So I think it's always important for someone to reach out to whoever it is that they are really interested in working for.